part. We're still in the purification part. So even though the step-by-step guidance to the purification is done, so there is some there's some like remaining advices on last rites. So basically, this one we will cover. Page number 273 of the words of my perfect teacher is where we're following.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. So there is it's the last paragraph. It's the last paragraph on page number 273 on the English page. So basically, so we will not repeat what we went last week. Now this is basically Pedro Rinpoche telling us that concentration during the purification ritual is important, and then he's basically touching the importance of concentration in general. Whether you are meditating, you need to be concentrated. Whether you are reciting a book or chanting some mantra, whichever you are doing, the concentration is of utmost importance. If you do not concentrate properly, then the recitation may not be powerful or useful, helpful as you would hope to be. Yeah, he talks about the importance of the concentration during the prayer ceremonies, especially when someone passes away. That people who visit monks, monks who visit people's home to bless them when someone passes away should pay attention to what they're reciting and on the meditation or the recitation. Instead, if they end up doing like chit chats, etc., then the prayer will not be that much helpful to the person who just died, because when the person who passes away, when the person who passes away, usually after they pass away, they're looking for some refuge, some help. So for that reason, and then the immediate place that they could come is their own home, where they, usually where the monks come to pray. And when they come to seek refuge from the monks, and when the monks are not engaged in concentration, but like chit chat or distracted or doing something, come with some negative intention, like to get some money or just food, like that, then the the consciousness or the spirit of the person who just passed away can see that and hear that and feel that, and then they become very saddened. So instead of having a positive impact, the monks who come to pray for the dead actually leaves a negative impact to the dead people. Yeah. So Pedro Rinpoche further states that when um the monks who come to chanting for the deceased person, if they are distracted, and especially if they come with negative mind, such whether it's from attachment to the money being offered or this and that, or from anger to the person who passed away. Like, let's say, oh, why this person called me all the way to his home? It's so far away. They don't make a good offering. It's such a bother. I'm being they're wasting my time, so on and so forth. That is like an anger, right? So whether you have attachment or anger generated during the last rites, during the chanting for the person who passed away, then the person who just passed away, who are in the Bardo, the intermediate realm, they could actually, the Bardo beings actually have some magical power, special power. So they could go to any place that they want to go, and they can see anything they want to see, hear anything they want to hear. So they have some magical powers, and they could basically see what if you have an evil thought, negative mindset, then it could see through that, and then it will feel very bad. If you have attachment to the offerings, etc., they could feel that, and then they feel, uh, very painful. And if you have anger, right, to the person because, oh, they invite me, but they don't have much to offer, and I'm so disturbed like that, then the person who passed away can feel that. So maybe out of anger, instead of being born in the higher realms, they will be born in the lower realms as a evil spirit or some hungry ghost trying to harm people like that. So Pedro Miche further goes on to explain more on uh, this part. So um, so basically, the main point is that if their mind is distorted, their mind is distracted. So here, distraction not only means distracted by the external sound or picture, this and that. Benjamin, not by the external sound or this and that, but also by inside distraction, like negative thought, this and that, right? Or to make money, to make fame, this and that. That is also distraction. So basically, not to fall into that part. That's what Pedro Lumis is saying. Then on the other side, one should be on the opposite side. Instead, one should actually try to focus and try to follow the instructions of the scripture as properly as one can. And if it so happens that you do not understand the meaning of the Dharma, let's say you are a monk, but your let's say knowledge on the Dharma is very low, and you don't understand much, then you should at least have the pure intention to help the person who just passed away, and then try to, even though you cannot understand the deeper meanings of the teaching, when you are actually reciting the book, the scripture, which is in front of you, try to recall the meaning, at least the external outlining meaning of the words that's being recited. So if you are saying, I take refuge to the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, something like that, then think, even though you don't know what Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha is, you don't know properly, just follow the words through like that. So even that much, if you do that much, that will help a great deal to the person who passed away, because the person who just passed away has only the triple gem, the Buddha Dhamma Sangha, to hold on to. And so you at that time is the representative of all the sanghas. So therefore, as a representative of the sangha, one should focus only on the positive mindset to help the person who just passed away. If you start the prayer for the deceased with the proper intention, the bodhichitta, then you follow the rituals properly. Ritual means basically the mudras, the gesture, this and that. Then also about whatever dharma has to be arranged, whatever ritualistic arrangements have to be made, properly made. That's a ritual. And then also put effort into the understand the meaning or go over the meaning of the text. So when three things are combined, uh, and the pure understanding of the scripture, all three things are combined, then this becomes the perfect beacon of light for the person who just passed away to come to follow through. So basically, they will see that, and then because Triple Gem is the only infallible, unmistaken guide for all of us, at that time they will be totally liberated. So if they are to be born in the hell realm, they will not be born in the hell realm. They will come to the human realm. If they are to be born in the human realm as an ordinary human realm, they will be born as a human being with good and so uh, human being with good accessible things and etc. like that. So basically, that person, yeah, this is one should strive for that. Yeah, this is what you should do.
Sorry, what is the three things that they should do? The first one is intention.
So the pure intention, bodhicitta. Second one
Yeah,
is the properly follow the rituals.
ritual.
And then third thing, yeah, properly follow the rituals. And third thing is, if you could, then when you are reciting whatever book, then go over um, the meaning of the book, meaning of that text. Let's say if the book is on let's say the book is on the ultimate reality. Then when you are reading the book, don't just repeat the word, but also think about ultimate truth, ultimate reality, etc. Just
Yes.
for example, like that. If the book is talking about the Buddha's perfect body, mind, and speech, then actually think about this. Yeah. So basically, this is all about the monks who do prayer for the deceased. So it is not exactly which is not directly talking to us, the general public, but then there's so many things that we can learn from here as well. So basically, this is all for the monastics, the monks who come to do the prayers for the people who passed away. So in the end, he says that if you manage to do it as such, do it properly, then this become actually like um, a dual benefit for yourself and benefit for the other person as well. Because the other person gets the guidance they needed. The person who died, he can get the guidance and can lead to uh, liberation, etc. And then you also get to accumulate great merit, because when you help others, then you also gain merit. And not to mention, of course, in the current world, in the current lifetime, you're also getting some offerings and this and that. So basically, there's like it's a win-win situation if you do it properly. Otherwise, it's very dangerous. So he mentioned that uh, taking someone's offering without doing the proper dedication and prayer, etc., is like eating uh, a meatball. You know, a meatball. It's like eating a meatball made of hot iron charcoals. Okay, so this is one aspect, one side. Now, because of this, some monks, some monks, some so Peter Rinpoche says some monks who you might expect to be a little better than others. So this is what he says. So anyway, some monks actually know all these things, and because of that, they're so scared. They're so scared of visiting people's homes to do blessing for the deceased. Because just as I mentioned, this is if you don't follow the rituals and everything properly, then it's like eating meatballs made from uh, hot iron meatballs. Huh? So basically, it will burn you. Not burn right now, but in the future, that when you die yourself. So because some monks know about that, and then they know about the law of causation, the uh, karma, etc. Basically, all that, and then because of that, they're so scared, and then they refuse to visit people's home to bless them when they ask for the monk invite the monks to do blessing. They say, I cannot come, I cannot take the offerings for someone who passed away, etc. like that. And now, if you do that, in one way, this seems proper, but at the same time, if you do that, then you are cutting off the loving compassion, loving kindness and compassion path, which is the essence of bodhicitta. So if you are a bodhisattva practice, as a bodhicitta practitioner, someone who follows the Mahayana tradition, then you actually have to, you cannot refuse. You cannot refuse. And when you go there, you cannot say that, oh, I was brought here by force. So that's why I'm not going to read properly. You cannot say that also. You cannot refuse. And when you reach there, you must also do the rituals properly as well.
Sorry, the last part is that when they are forced to go.
No, because 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 here Pedro Rinpoche says that if you are Mahayana Bodhisattva Bodhichitta follower of the Bodhisattva path,
Yep,
the
yep,
Mahayana path, then you cannot say no, right? You have to go.
yep.
So you have to go sounds like by force.
Mm.
So when you visit the person, you cannot say like, oh, I was forced to come here because I am a Mahayana practitioner. So I was forced to come here. I will come, but I will not read the sutra properly. I will not do everything properly because I was forced to come. If you do, so basically you have no choice but to go. And when you go, you have no choice but to do it properly. Yeah. Okay. But Pedro Rinpoche continued once again that so, some people hesitate. Some supposedly good monks hesitate, and then they don't visit the people to bless their home based on that. Uh, then he said most of the monks are actually very selfish. Majority are extremely selfish. So they take part. They visit the homes because they were invited, and the people who invite them were make offerings, etc. So they cannot refuse. So they go. But once they got to the venue, the place where they were uh, the deceased person's house, then instead of doing the prayer that they were asked to do, they will do something else. So basically, all the senior monks, after receiving many initiation, etc., you have lots of commitments like you have your daily prayers, a lot of prayers to recite on your own. So instead of doing the prayer that was requested by uh, the house, the household, of the person who passed away, the monks do their own daily practice, daily puja, daily practice, and say, "Oh, I have to purify myself in because before I do the, this and that." So basically, they have a lot of puja to their own daily practice to do. So they just use the um, what's that? They use this opportunity as an excuse to do their own daily practices. So basically, it's like bringing your homework to the office. You know, that is the thing. You cannot bring your homework to the office, huh? Like that. So, uh, uh, for example, usually let's say the homeowner asks you to do the medicine with the ritual for the deceased, for the person who just died. But then because you have your own Heart Sutra and the Manjushri prayer, etc., this to do, so you said, oh, medicine Buddha is not important today. I will do the Heart Sutra and this for you. It's much better this like that. So basically, you mislead the people, huh? Like that. So if you do that, that's very very bad. Yeah, that's something the monks who visit people's home to do the prayers should be very careful. Yeah, so Peter Rinpoche says most important is to have compassion and bodhicitta as the basis for any practices. Then never give up the wish to help sentient beings, uh, and put your sincere effort, very sincere effort to think about, to recall um, everything you know about uh, the especially if you're doing the everything about the Dharma in general, just to essentialize everything, and especially if you're doing tantric rituals, etc., then know about the so there's something called the generation and perfection stages of tantra. So the generation stage and the perfection stage. So basically know to have a overview understanding of whatever practice you're going to do would be very beneficial. Yeah. And then if you do this, meditate on the benefiting others, meditate on the overall understanding of the sutra that you are reciting, and with the for the benefit of others, then it's not uh, when you do it for someone else, then it's no different. It's same. It has the same benefit as doing your own daily practices. So at the end of the day, Vajrasattva emphasized that one should be free from selfish thoughts and care about helping others. So putting others before yourself is the most important thing. And then I think try to reduce selfish thoughts. If you do that, then it will be beneficial for both yourself and the other person as well. So now coming back to the original the teaching. So basically, we were talking about confession, purification, etc. And then when he talked about purification, then he he touched the subject of um, we are talking about the purification through Vajrasattva, etc. And then when you do the purification, you must be totally concentrated. Right? And if you do not concentrate, then this will happen. Like so, he's talking. Now he's coming back to the concentration. Sorry, he's coming back to the purification part again. So he says, if you stay undistracted, no distraction, fully concentrated to the meaning and the rituals and everything with your pure intention, and you recite the mantra, 100 syllable mantra, which is the mantra of Vajrasattva. If you recite it 108 times, 108 times, say the 100 syllable mantra 108 times without interruption, then this will undoubtedly purify all your evil actions and obscurations and all the violations and breaches of vows. So basically, any vow that you have broken will be uh, will be cut down. Yeah. Yeah. So for this, Pachu Rinpoche quotes from the Tantra, from the book known as the Tantra of Immaculate Confession, Tantra of Perfect Confession. Yeah. Pedro Rinpoche, yeah, he quotes the Tantra of Perfect Confession, Immaculate Confession. Anyway, so I will go one line by line. So the first line is that the 100 syllable mantra is the essence of the mind of all the Buddhas. It purifies all the violations, all the breaches, broken samaya, etc., all the conceptual obscurations, negative thoughts, etc. The Buddhas of the past, present, and future will watch over the person who recite the 100 syllable mantra uh, as, as a parent would watch over their own child. So anyway, something that we usually follow is that this is the thing. So here, uh, to put it in essence, to summarize, whatever violation here means breaking the, when you take the initiation, this and that, or maybe when after taking teaching, this and that, then you break the samaya, break the commitment, this and that. So you have lots of negative karmic obscurations. So all of that will be uh, cancelled out. What it means is, so if you recite, basically what it means is, if you recite the 100 syllable mantra 21 times each day, then whatever negativities you have done that day will not multiply. It will not be totally cancelled out. There's other things for that. But whatever grave negative thing you did, it will not multiply for that day. If you, yeah, like that. So this is something that you may or may not know. Some of you may know, some of you may not know. It is that whatever negative thing you do, uh, whether it's any negative, like lying to someone, or killing this and that, or breaking the samaya of Vajrayana, basically whatever negative you do, uh, the the negative karma or the negative deeds actually gets multiplied day by day. So twofold. So, for example, if you lie today and then do not confess to the lying, if you do not confess to the lying today, then tomorrow it becomes two lies.
Oh,
Thereafter tomorrow it becomes four lies, then eight lies, etc. Like that. So by doing the Vajrasattva purification, uh, 100 syllable mantra 21 times a day, we can actually stop the multiplication process. Okay. So if you're reading the book, it's 277, 277. So I'm reading from the book and then summarizing, so not to read the whole thing. So Pedro says, in Tibet these days, there cannot be a single lama, single monk, lama, monk, layman, whatever, a laywoman, who has not received an empowerment of this or that deity. Everybody, because in Tibet, we, we go to receive Lama teaching, empowerment from any Lama who's teaching, right? So in one point, it's good. Huh? So we receive empowerment from every Lama that is teaching. What happens is that a lot of us don't know the meaning behind teaching empowerment, especially because empowerment is so high. So we just go there, and then when we think we receive the empowerment, when the Lama, the teacher, the Guru, puts the Vajra or the Vas or the scripture on our head, then we think, oh, now I received the empowerment. So empowerment is basically the ritual object for us. And like that, right? We don't understand. And a lot of time we go to seek teaching from all different sort of lamas, teacher, masters, not knowing who they are, what they are teaching, this and that. And after receiving the teaching, we think receiving a teaching is like a transaction. So I received that initiation, and then I offer you some money. So it's a transaction, business trade, huh? Like that. So once I'm done with the trade, once the transaction is over, then the deal is off. I give you my money, you give me your transmission, whatever, teaching, whatever, then the transaction is off. And after that, you start to talk bad about the master who you receive initiation, teaching, this and that, like that. So because of that, we break a lot of samaya, we break a lot of the spiritual connection, uh, etc., etc. Uh, so because of that, we have so many broken samayas, broken sama commitments. Uh, and those commitments, when you break the commitment, especially Vajrayana commitments, then uh, there is only, when you break the Vajrayana commitments, then there is only one way to go. Uh, because Vajrayana is usually likened to a pipe, a water pipe. So pipe has only two holes, not many, not more. So you enter through one hole and then come out from the other hole. So once you are inside the pipe, then you either come out from the top or the bottom, right? So there's no alternative. So once you enter the Vajrayana, then you either go to Vajra hell or to the Vajradhatu, the Buddha's pure land of the Buddha. So there is no two-way in between. Yeah, like that. So this analogy of the pipe, water pipe, is because any other Dhamma practices, any of the Sutrayana practices, like Mahayana practices, or this and that, basically the other anything other than the tantric practices, uh, if you break some of the what do you call the instructions, if you wrongfully commit something, if you break the not it's not called the samaya, but it's like if you break off if you do not follow the instructions properly or basically do this and that, um, there is negative consequences, but you will not directly go to the hell realm. So you may go to, there's a three lower realms. So you may go to other realms, and within the other realms, you will suffer this and that, but not directly to hell realm. But if you break the samaya in the Vajrayana after following the Vajrayana practices, then there's only two way, either the top or the bottom. So there is no between, no stop. It's a direct flight. So to understand the gravity of the um, broken samaya, breaking the commitments in the Vajrayana. So one uh, and how easy it is and everything. Huh? So that is there's the story of Master Atisha who came to Atisha. So Atisha, when he was asked by his students how how did like so basically he was asked about his practice this and that. So long story short, he said that when he became a monk and he kept the monastic vows, he received the ordination and became a monk. He never broke any of his vows at all, and he did not need to repair any of the vows at all. Then afterwards, he received the Bodhisattva teachings, and basically the teaching on generating the Bodhisattva from Lama Selingpa, his teacher. So after that, he started to have some downfalls, basically make some faults, and he has to repair them once a month. Then after that, he was introduced to the Vajrayana, and after receiving Vajrayana teachings, he said there is never been a single day without breaking uh, making one small mistake in the Vajrayana teaching. So this is what Adisha himself said. So then we look at ourselves, and then we just have to make a comparison. Yeah, yeah. So by following Atisha's small short life story, we can understand. We can actually think for ourselves whether we need to practice Vajrasattva to purify our negativities or not. Huh? So we will go into detail maybe later about this. So best is to do the Vajrasattva purification, the meditation as explained the week before and the week before that. And so basically we talk about that for 3 weeks. For 3 sessions, we talk about that. So or at the very least, just do the 21 recitation of the Vajrasattva 100 syllable mantra 21 times a day without fail. That will, at the very least, stop the negativities from increasing. Yeah. So now this is something important. It needs some explanations too as well. So it's in the middle of the page 277. So basically, he's talking about a person after following once when you are following the Vajrayana, then one should actually avoid contact with someone who has broken the 14, it's 18 or 14, just forgot. 14, I think. But basically the root, the the principle, the samayas, 14, I think, yeah. 14 samayas, the root of the Vajrayana. So if one has broken any of that, then that person, one should actually avoid contact with that person. So here it says even just drinking the water of the same valley is enough to engender the false non-as violation through contact. So basically, even if you are not doing anything wrong, but by having contact with someone who has actually broken the root commitments of the Vajrayana, will actually endanger your own practices and so on and so forth. So this needs some explanation. So I will do that. So what happens is we think, okay, so this is total contradiction against the Buddha's teaching, because Buddha said the Dhamma is for all, rich, poor, even bad people, evil people, people who commit murder, kill people, can also come to the Buddha's teaching, can also do this. So Buddhism is inclusive, or isn't it? Not exclusive. So inclusive. It's open for everyone, isn't it? Then how come you can make distinction between someone who has broken the samaya, the root falls, And then how are you supposed to cut contact? This is this is really like barbaric, huh? Like you cannot cut contact with people. You're supposed to help people, especially people who are suffering, especially people who are doing bad. How can you do that? This is the question that automatically arises. So for this, the answer is very simple. Buddhism is open for all. Buddha Dharma, Buddha's teaching is open for all. Buddha's teaching is inclusive. Buddha's teaching is open for all. But Vajrayana is not open for all. Vajrayana is not inclusive. Vajrayana is exclusive for those. So because usually the people who practice Vajrayana is known as the fortunate ones. So if you follow Vajrayana, then you should, if you follow the Vajrayana because you want the benefits, then you should also be ready to face the consequences of breaking the samayas in the Vajrayana as well. Because the results, the positive results are impressive. So the negative consequences are also incredibly strong, powerful. So, yeah. The analogy given on the sutra is very simple. One drop of sour milk turns all the milk sour. One degenerate yogi spoils all the other yogis. So if you put only one drop of vinegar or lime juice to a pot full of milk, the whole pot of milk will be spoiled and bad. So if you engage with someone who has broken samaya, then your own practice will be gravely influenced by that person's behavior. You may not think it that way, but it actually will do. Even so cut the story short, long story short. So the Pedro Rinpoche, Pedro Rinpoche recounts story of some great masters who actually contacted some very negative person. Negative means someone who has broken the samaya and like that. And because of that, their own sort of practices and these were disturbed like that. Um, so he he mentioned one or two great yogis, one of whom actually become like delirious, like delusional, and then some of them actually lost their speech, cannot speak. You know, in the earlier part of their life, they are they're perfect, and the later part of their life, they cannot speak. They become, you know, in today's time, we will say, oh, they had a stroke, they had this and that brain failure, this and that. But from a spiritual point of view, a lot of them actually had the negative consequence of uh, having being in contact with someone who has broken samaya. Yeah.
So, so
Uh,
it's just
so basically, if you break samaya, even if you are in touch with someone who breaks the samaya, even if you are a high practitioner, your practice will also be influenced. Yeah, that's the main point. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Then what? So so this is we'll explain this later if you want to know more. Without checking, so basically to keep the samayas properly is important for yourself, and then to not engage with people who has broken the samaya is also of utmost important. It is said that if you keep in touch with them, then your practice will not progress anymore, and um, like that. Yeah. To summarize, it is said that there are hundreds of thousands of samayas. So the main one is like 14, but then it will go on and on because there are hundreds of thousands. There are thousands of uh, tantric teachings based on different deities, and each of those practices have their own samayas, their own rules, regulations. So once you break them, then you break the samaya, right? So because of that, there's thousands of rules. So and some of them it's obvious to us, and many of them are not. So for that reason, it's so important to purify with the Vajrasattva and then do the 21 recitation of the Vajrasattva mantra is so important for all of us for that reason. And on the good side, on the flip side, on the good side is that the tantric vows are easy to break and also easy to repair. Unlike because Tantra Vajrayana is a lot of time is mental. So it's easier. Because the person who breaks the Vajrayana vow, because Vajrayana is for the most intelligent, most fortunate one. So for those people who break the vow, it's easier for them to repair as well because they're the most intelligent one in general. So this is the analogy, the example. The Shervaka tradition, basically the monastic vows, the monk's vow. So when you bring, the monastic vows, when you break the monastic vow, it's like breaking earthen pot, a pot made from the mud, like a mud pot. So when you break them, it's almost impossible to put it all back. I mean, it's broken into pieces. Let's say like a clay pot, It's like a clay pot. So once you break them, you can it's very difficult to put them all back. And even if you put all of them back, there will still be the marks and stains and all that. This is the breaking the Vajra, the monastic vows. So the monastic vows are very difficult to restore once you break them, especially the grave ones. Then the Bodhisattva vows, when you break them, the main is 14 of them. The main Bodhisattva is vows are 14. When you break them, then it's like breaking metallic jewel, maybe from silver or like something like that. Huh? So when you break a jewelry made from some semi-precious metal, when you break them, you can give it to a goldsmith, and then the goldsmith will actually melt, purify basically whatever, and then the goldsmith can prepare it for you. And semi-precious metal, you actually have to give to a goldsmith to repair it for you because you don't have the tools. Then breaking the samaya in the Vajrayana is like breaking a pot made from precious stone, like let's say like gold, etc. So this one, if something is broken, something is dented, making a dent in a golden pot. So it's a pure gold, then the pure golds are very malleable, very flexible. So you can actually burn and fix them yourself. So it's like that. So the earthen pot, metal pot, and then golden pot. So Pedro Rinpoche says that there are people who has the power to bless others through their speech. Basically means through some chanting mantra. Some people have to do mantra. Some people actually don't have to do mantra. Some people are, we call them healers, right? So a lot of them are just phony fake, but they're actually real people who can actually heal. They're people who can actually really heal people through their hands by touching them or by blowing onto them, etc. Not necessarily a rinpoche or this or that, but like some people are some in our like our in our daily conversation we will say they are gifted, but they actually have practiced in their past lives, and for some of them are actually able to really re-invoke those gifts from their past life, those gifts or those practices from their past life. Basically, people who can help heal other people, they need to if they don't purify their broken samayas, let's say someone is gifted with healing people, and if they are following the Vajrayana, and if they don't repair their broken samaya with the Vajrasattva meditation and 21 recitation, etc., then their healing power will decrease. So therefore, this is what they say. Pedro Rinpoche says that his own venerable teacher used to joke that people who heal other peoples actually should recite the mantra 10 million times. And actually, Pedro Rinpoche's, so Pedro Rinpoche says like this, okay, this is the way he put it. My teacher's students, some of my teacher's students actually recited it 20 million times or 10 million times. So he doesn't say it like he did it, right? So he would say, so the way he put it as a third person, but he's saying like, my teacher's students have done this. So he never says he did that. So of course he is one of them as well. So the Pedro Rinpoche says, my venerable teacher used to joke that people who do the healing, they should recite 10 million times. And actually, many of my teacher's students, it's like my father's son. Basically, if you are talking about yourself. So many of them actually did 10 million times and 20 million times like that.
Per day?
So it's
10 million times per day? Or the whole life?
no, not per day. In their lifetime, 10
Yeah,
million,
lifetime.
20
10
million,
million, 20 million.
yeah, like that, yeah, like that, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. I thought on
No,
10,000.
yeah,
Sorry.
that's all, yeah.
Ờ, vị thầy quý báu của ngài Pachuni Ponche thì có hay đùa với ngài, đó là mỗi con người chúng ta thì trong cuộc đời này chúng ta nên đọc ít nhất là 10 triệu đến chỉ chú 10 triệu đến 20 triệu biến kim cương tát đọa trong cả cuộc đời này. Và ngài cũng có nói là thực sự là các cái vị đệ tử của vị thầy của ngài là rất nhiều người làm được cái điều này, đó là trong cuộc đời của họ đã trì chú được 10 triệu đến 20 triệu biến thần chú kim cương tát đọa, thần chú trăm âm đấy ạ. Thì khi mà ngài nói thế thì mình cũng tự hiểu là sao ạ, có nghĩa là đệ tử của thầy ngài thì cũng chính là ngài, có nghĩa là ngài Pachunim là một vị thành tựu giả rất là vĩ đại, ngài đã làm được những công việc vĩ đại như là trì chú kim cương tát đọa đến 10 triệu và 20 triệu biến một ngày ạ.
Oh yeah. Now we will summarize.
Một đời, sorry.
Yeah. Can I continue?
Yes, continue.
Okay. Yeah. So this is the summarization of this whole chapter. Okay. Now this chapter is over. This is the last paragraph of this whole chapter. This chapter is known as visualizing the deity Vajrasattva and your teacher as one, and engaging in the purification practice, the blessing in nectar. So that one. So this is the last paragraph, the most important one. So I need all of you to pay attention to this thing. So this whole practice is known as the is focused on the teacher Vajrasattva or Guru Vajrasattva. So there's two words, Guru and Vajrasattva. Vajrasattva is the deity, Guru is the teacher. So basically, there are two words meaning two person, but actually in Vajrayana practice, you should not think those two person as two different person. Your father's son and you are the same person. Even though we can say your father's son, that's a long name, and then you can say your own name, but it's basically the same thing. So like that, think of the teacher and the Vajrasattva appearing in different forms, but actually the same. So that's usually we use the one term, teacher Vajrasattva, like that. So teacher Vajrasattva or the Guru Vajrasattva embodies all the hundreds of thousands of all the deities like out there. So the Guru, the Guru Vajrasattva is the embodiment of all the deities out there in one. So he is known as the Vajrasattva, the secret deity, the single deity of all the great secrets. So, because there are hundreds of deities. There's like Medicine Buddha deity, there's the Tara deity, generous Avalokiteshvara. There's so many deities. Some are peaceful, some are wrathful, all this and that. So whichever deity you are visualizing, because for whichever practice you are doing, if you're doing the Medicine Buddha puja, you have to visualize Medicine Buddha deity. So when you visualize the Medicine Buddha deity, see the Medicine Buddha as none other than your own. If you're doing the Tara puja, see the Tara as none other than your own Guru. And your own Guru, Tara, which is your own Guru, is the embodiment, or you can say representative, or the essence of all the Buddhas and all the deities of the universe, like that. So in this particular instance, we are focusing on Vajrasattva. So for that reason, Vajrasattva is none other than your teacher is none other than the Vajrasattva. And Vajrasattva and all the other hundreds of thousands of deities, peaceful and wrathful, in the form of Vajrasattva. So this including all the deities in your personal deity, including all the other deities in your personal deity, which is none other than your Guru, is known as the all-encompassing jewel. A jewel like a precious stone, a jewel that has all the qualities. So this is what it's called. Tibetan. So during the Tantric practice, we use the term the all-encompassing jewel practice. This is what it means. When we say the all-encompassing jewel Guru devotion practice, it means to see your Guru as the embodiment of all the deities, including the one that you are practicing on. For example, like Buddha, Tara, etc. So this is this particular practice is the most profound of all practices for us, and reciting the 100-syllable mantra is the most effective mantra of all for us.
And the second part is
this is the mantra. Mantra is the most effective
powerful.
mantra. That last line by this is like the concluding line by Pedro Rinpoche. So the last line, very last line, page number 280. I'll read line by line. I have heard the beneficial instruction, meaning the teaching, but have left them as just words. So it means I didn't practice. I have practiced them a little, but have been fooled by distraction. So I did not practice, but when I do little practice, I have been distracted by so many other things. So please bless me and all phantom beings, like basically people like me, phantom, and like a ghost, because ghosts are never certain. Go here, go there, very very uncertain. Not anchored. That we may extract the essence of the Vajrayana practice. So generation and perfection phase, that means the whole scope of Vajrayana is known as the generation and perfection phase. So that we may be able to extract the essence of the whole scope of Vajrayana practice. So this is the conclusion. And so this concludes the teaching. And there's one question. And I think there are two. One is, I think, gratitude. Thank you for Mr. Wang, the translator today. So you came on such a short notice and didn't have time to prepare and anything, but you did an excellent job. So yeah, grateful and thank you for you. The second one, you can please translate that as well. The second one is a question on the Vajrayana practitioner can repair their samaya since the Vajrayana practitioner can repair their samaya, how come they still go to the hell realm? Yeah. So please first translate what I say. Very simple, because as I said, the even Master Atisha had broken, not broken samaya, but like has to repair his samaya often. So basically, what happens is we get distracted. We get some of the samayas are so extensive, so vast. So that some of them we don't even know. So when we don't know, we break them unintentionally as well. So therefore, they have to be. So it's important to like be mindful at all times. Yeah. Okay. So there's one question sent directly to me. So it is that I received a teaching, a Vajrayana sadhana transmission, Vajrayana teaching. After that, I realized I did not deserve to receive or practice that. So I confessed and stopped reciting, but I still retained veneration for the teacher and the practice. But will I still suffer in the hell realm for that? So basically, uh, you received the teaching, and later you found out that this is not for you, and then you still hold respect for the teacher. So will you go to hell? So that's the question. So the answer is no, you will not go to hell, because but you have to like make the confession to the teacher, and then either like face to face or indirect. I mean, through your meditation, you must uh, sorry, uh, receive the permission from your teacher that you will no longer continue this practice. Okay, then one last question is, Rinpoche, how do we know someone has break the samaya? Uh, so I think the question is regarding if the other person has broken the samaya or not, right? Not yourself. uh, so the so breaking the samaya is, so now I will make some distinction, okay? So if you, for example, when you fail to follow the instructions in the Vajrayana teaching, so there are two kinds. One is unable to do so, and the other is intentionally disregarding the instruction, right? Uh, if you intentionally disregard, okay, my guru said that, but I mean, he said that to everybody. So it's not really for me, maybe it's not that important. He always say compassion, bodhicitta to everybody. And look in this world, how many people really practice compassion, bodhicitta. And people who don't practice compassion, bodhicitta, they are so rich, powerful, this and that. People who supposedly practice Buddhism, Dharma, look at them. Their condition is so poor. Look at the people, especially in Bodh Gaya, where the Buddha Shakyamuni got enlightened. Everybody there is so poor there. So basically disrespecting and disregarding the instruction and not being able to follow sincerely. That's two things, right? You have total respect for the teacher and the instruction and the Dharma and the Vajrayana, but sometimes you're unable to follow because of this and that. You have your uh, so many things. We are basically human being. We have many errors. That is one thing. That is not considered like breaking the samaya. It's what do you call? It actually it's eroding the samaya. Basically, it kind of degrades the samaya, but erode, but not really break the samaya. When you intentionally uh, uh, disregard and disrespect the teaching, the dharma, the instruction, etc., then you are breaking the samaya. So basically, so yeah, okay. So how can you tell for easily or not, right? Then yeah, please translate this one first. Then I follow up. So a person who intentionally break the samaya is someone uh, who does that out of disregard, disrespect, and all that. So that person, for example, you will know easily because that person will say, "Oh, don't." For example, one small example is like, "Don't follow this." Like basically bad mouthing your own guru, previous guru, right? So someone comes from another guru, and then they say like, "Oh, my teacher, blah 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 blah," like that, and then this is a not good teacher, and then so one should not. If you check their history, then they actually have been following that teacher for some time, and after some time, then had some issue with the teacher. Some are real, some are not real. Cannot say for sure. But it's also like sensitive issue. Uh, Whether it's real or not, then the person is like bad mouthing the teacher, criticizing basically. Then we know that the person has broken samaya. Uh, but it's a little bit, you have to use your intelligence a lot because it can be also, there are two things. We don't know people's intention. So sometimes the person is just, okay, sometimes it really happens that the so-called Vajrayana teachers abuse their students, right? So when they abuse the student, then they get emotionally hard. They have had a very hard life already, and then they come to the spiritual world, and then the teacher also abused them, financially, sexually, uh, emotionally, whatever. And this actually hurts them, and then they want to abandon the practice. There are some people who do with like pure intention. I really cannot connect with this teacher, and then they just you abandon this and then you do something else. That's okay. But then some people just trying to because they don't receive the favor from the teacher that the favor that they wanted, they don't receive that, and because of that, uh, they start to create a rift, a divide between the students of this teacher, etc., etc. So teacher is just one example. It can be also about Vajrayana in general. So talk about, oh, Tibetan Buddhism is not pure, blah, 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 like that. Or Vajrayana is, Vajrayana is all about, Vajrayana is a cult. uh, Vajrayana is a cult. Vajrayana is not a pure Dharma Buddhist practice. Because I said right before, uh, Buddha says everything is open for all. Then Vajrayana says only a few fortunate ones can practice Vajrayana. So what does that mean? This is direct contrast with the Buddha's teaching. So when you think like that, then you are actually disrespecting the teaching and the teacher. Then you are intentionally doing that. Then you are breaking the samaya. Yeah. So a lot of time we have to use intelligence because people who break samaya or bad people, evil people, don't come with horns. They don't have the horn or they don't have fangs. So you have to like be alert, mindful. Whenever when someone is saying something bad about the Buddha's teaching or a certain teacher or this and that, don't follow them right away. Always analyze. If right, and then then listen to what they're saying. So don't just follow them because they're just making some big noise. Don't follow them right away like that. Yeah. So even though the samayas are like thousands of samayas, but the main is actually 14 of them. 14, 14. It's called the root samayas. Yeah. So these things you have to keep in mind. So I will not go over all of the 14. Uh, just just mention three. The first one is disrespecting your guru. Second one is violating the instructions. Huh? Violating the instructional advice. The third one is criticizing Vajra brothers and sisters. Basically, someone who received the initiation or empowerment from the same teacher. So if you are in the same group, that's Vajra brother. So criticizing the Vajra brother, violating the advices or instruction of the guru, and disrespecting the guru. So these three things, if someone does that, then that person is done someone. Okay. Okay, so this concludes today's teaching. It also concludes this whole chapter of the Vajrasattva practice of purification. And so thank you everyone for attending. And thank you especially Mr. Wu for translating, coming on such a short notice. Yeah, that for
My
your
pleasure.
excellent service. Yeah.
My pleasure.
Before I sign off, tonight means okay. So 8 p.m. Vietnamese time, Hanoi time, 8 p.m. Hanoi time, we are doing a dedication service memorial for my teacher who passed away about 5 days ago. So if you have the time, please attend. We were doing it online, so we will be reciting the the medicine Buddha puja. Okay. Yeah. So this is okay, not this is prayers not for the good rebirth of the teacher, this and that. So he doesn't need any of that thing. So this is basically for us to accumulate merit to that we have been able to have such a great teacher, and then that we in the future also we may not be separated from the Dharma and have good teachers like that. Of course, most of you, I think none of you have actually met my teacher, but what I am sharing with you right now, all the Dharma teaching, whatever this and that, comes from through his blessing. So for that reason, those who regard me as your teacher, is your lineage master, lineage teacher as well. So for that reason, if you attend, then you will accumulate merit to meet reliable teachers in the future. Nwa chi kyang ma de ba ge ge sa la ge ba ra sho cha cho sem cha zen bo che ma ge pa ge gyu ro je ke ba nyam ba me ba na yang ko ne kon to pe wa ra sho ben se de che ne re se me ge bo cha be o cho ma je sai an je ke do ge go go lo ban san ta sha lai soi wa lai san ta kai lai soi ten be ni ko ten be nga shin na ma do gen la chang ju be lo sa che ye jam zhe zhou be ten ge do den dang ba ra so wa.
Thank you, Bodhichitta.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Miss Yan.
Cảm ơn anh Vũ
Thank
Anh.
you. Thank you.
Thank you, Rinpoche.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Thank you.
Rinpoche.
Thank you, Kim. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. See you later.